During the Battle of Coruscant, while defending the galactic capital against the Separatist invasion force that served as a distraction while Grievous kidnapped Supreme Chancellor Palpatine, not only did Jedi Master Yoda have the Force and his lightsaber on his side, but he also relied on another longtime ally to fight against the Separatist droid army, his Kybuck. But the Battle of Coruscant was not the only time that Yoda would ride his Kybuck into battle against the Separatists. In fact, he did so multiple times throughout the war, from its earliest battles right up until the war's end. Yoda's connection to the Kybuck was not solely a feature that was spurred on or required by the Clone Wars. Rather, Yoda's kinship to the Kybuck started decades earlier, when he was gifted his first Kybuck roughly 115 years prior to the events seen in A New Hope. In this video expose, I will describe how Yoda received the Kybuck he rode into battle during the Clone Wars, as well as explain what a Kybuck is and Yoda's relationship with the animal. Kybucks were ungulates that were primarily found upon and native to the planet of Kashyyyk, and more specifically, Kashyyyk's Wolwarika prairies. Exceptionally swift creatures, Kybucks had the potential to run at speeds of up to 90 kilometers per hour, which allowed them to avoid falling prey to predators. Although they would prefer to flee from predators when they were by themselves, the extremely protective familial instincts present within Kybucks would push them to fight off such enemies if their offspring were present. When threatened in this way, Kybucks could attack and fight using headbutts to utilize and score a blow with their horns, or using kicks while leaping into the air. Further, Kybucks were thought to be intelligent, as Yoda was able to provide verbal instructions to his Kybuck, which the Kybuck would listen to and then execute precisely. The strong familial instincts of the Kybuck resulted in their being revered and admired by the Wookiees, who also lived within the Wolwarika prairie regions on Kashyyyk, due to the fact that they similarly shared strong ties to their family and an inclination to protect those close to them. Because of this shared nature, Wookiees did not hunt Kybucks. Rather, they were often domesticated by chieftains to display them as a symbol of their status and provided to one another as gifts. It was this sense of value that the Wookiees saw in the Kybuck that ultimately allowed Yoda to be gifted one himself and come into contact with his first Kybuck. So how did Yoda's connection to the Kybuck begin, wherein he was able to ride them into battle throughout the Clone Wars? Yoda's Kybuck was given to him by a Wookiee princess residing in the Wolwarika regions of Kashyyyk after he saved her and prevented her death roughly 115 years before A New Hope. For saving her life, the princess gifted Yoda with a Kybuck, which would be the first of 33 Kybucks ultimately given to Yoda from this point until the end of the Clone Wars. Upon receiving his Kybuck, Yoda returned to Coruscant with the creature and kept it within a menagerie, a large and expansive garden, that was located underneath the Jedi Temple. While Yoda cared for the Kybuck, the Jedi Order's firm rule against taking possessions meant that Yoda did not see himself as the Kybuck's master or owner. Instead, Yoda viewed it as his friend, one in which he could use the Force to call upon. Ultimately, as the Clone Wars approached and he replaced those Kybucks that died, such as his Kybuck that was killed on Korriban roughly 11 years before the start of the Clone Wars, Yoda continued his connection with the Kybuck during the war, and utilized one throughout the conflict. Fortunately for Yoda, although Kybucks were not typically used as mounts, his modest size allowed him to mount them and ride it into battle. During battle, the Kybuck would make use of visors that would offer protection to its eyes as it engaged in combat. While mounting the Kybuck, Yoda could make use of his lightsaber to slash downwards at the enemy droids before him, as well as utilize the Kybuck's speed. Further, the Kybuck itself could provide an attack of its own, by kicking and headbutting droids of the Separatist army. However, when battles became too dangerous, Yoda would instruct his Kybuck to retreat back to the safety of the Jedi Temple, demonstrating just how much he cared for his Kybuck and viewed the creature as his friend first and foremost. So there we have it, how Yoda received the Kybuck he used in battle during the Clone Wars by saving the life of a Wookiee princess. We love making these videos, so why not subscribe for more fun Star Wars theories and discussions? Also, if you enjoyed the video, think about giving a like or leaving a comment. If not for me, for Winter Kybucks.